Garretts Green driving test at 7:10 a.m. Shard End route, let's go. As always, if you do find this helpful, please drop any comment, press the like, and that way it'll help reach more learners. At the moment, with the driving test wait times, I think learner drivers need as much help as they can possibly get. All my videos are free, and I think it makes a huge difference to their confidence and letting you guys know what to expect on the test. Now, you notice the sat-nav's up in the corner. It actually stays up for pretty much the whole test. I don't think they're on the independent driving at the moment. I think it's just set up. Which, you know what, I actually prefer it. I think it's more modern. Most of the trucks and things you see are just heading to work. It's not as busy as it normally is, but it's not quiet. The conditions aren't the best at the moment. It's a little bit wet outside, it's a little bit dark, but as long as you can drive, you should be absolutely fine. The learner cars you see in front are on test at the same time, so as you can see, sometimes they'll take you left, sometimes they'll take you right. It varies quite a bit. You don't know what test route you're going to get. You can try and predict, but you might not be correct. So your best bet is cover as many different routes as you can. I was quite surprised by how busy the roundabout was at this time. There's a fair amount of traffic. I'm not talking school rush time or anything like that, but I thought it was going to be empty. Their positioning as they came off could have been more to the left. There was nobody around at that time, so it didn't really impact anyone, but you may sometimes have cars trying to overtake you on that stretch on the right. The sat-nav's showing them they're taking the next road on the right. They entered the box early, which they are allowed to do because there's nobody else waiting in the box. So you see that arrow on the floor pointing for the other way? You can enter from that point if it's clear to do so. Now, it would have been better if they were positioned slightly further forwards. And also the truck was taking quite a while to get to them, so they were very hesitant in moving out. You can see it was going quite slow because the massive following of cars behind it. They got one fault here for hesitancy. Normally by this point we've pulled over a couple of times, but you'll notice we haven't done that at all yet. I think because it is slightly darker, the examiner's waiting till there's a bit more light, so they are being extremely fair with the light conditions. It may be that they just didn't have anywhere to stop, but I think they are taking the light into account. Coming up is a stretch of road where a lot of people get found speeding. Just because there's the empty field to the right, people think it's a faster road, but it's not. It's just a 30 mph road. And as usual, we have the first pullover in the same spot it pretty much always is. So I'm not actually sure what this part is, whether it's the end of the independent drive or the start of it, but they stopped. There was no faults. We're approaching a bunch of shops that have a zebra crossing. On approach to the crossing, make sure you scan left and right so you don't get caught out with somebody that might be wanting to cross. You'll notice as they're approaching this box junction, they do stop quite far over the give way line. Now, fortunately, nobody was coming to the left, so there was only a minor fault here. It is playing with chance a little bit, as if somebody had have come, it would have turned into a dangerous fault. So when approaching the box, make sure you don't go over that give way line, as you're just risking things there you don't want to risk. The end of this road is a strange one. You can turn left where my learner does, or you can go to the very end and turn left. The way that my learner did it, I recommend better. Neither's wrong, it's just this way slightly easier. This is the street where they like to give parallel park or pulling up on the right and reversing 2 cars lengths. So far we're halfway in and we only have 2 faults. Absolutely amazing. So it looks like we're doing the pull up on the right and reverse 2 cars lengths manoeuvre. This is the manoeuvre you want. I found that this is such an easy manoeuvre. 99% of people that get this one to pass it, as long as you have the good observations. Remember, with your manoeuvre, take your time. If other cars do appear, do come to a stop and don't let them pressure you. If when you're at a complete stop they just can't get past because of what you're doing, you are allowed to continue until the point where they can fit through again and they try to fit through. A good couple of cars passed during this manoeuvre, they stopped after each one and looked all the way around before continuing. Absolutely textbook good. You'll notice we're now entering a 20 mph zone, and when we hit the speed bumps, the car gets a little bit of air. The examiner did explain at the end that because it's a 20 mph zone, you can go lower than usual 20 miles per hour to hit the speed bumps. The speedo in the car was actually showing a little bit faster, about 22 miles per hour on these bumps. Because it is a 20 mph road, it doesn't matter if you reduce the speed down to about 15 to take them. Some of the bumps were hit quite hard, so they did get a minor fault here for use of speed. Just to clarify some points around that, what they basically said is on 30 mph roads, yes, some of the speed bumps you can hit about 20 to 25. It was a 20 mph road, so you can hit them at about 15 miles per hour. Speed bumps are designed to slow us down, so if there's speed bumps on a 20 mph road, it's designed to slow us down a little bit more. If they're on a 30 mph road, it's designed to get us to slow down a little bit more than 30. They've been asked to pull up on the left. You'll notice there is a few cars behind them. They do their mirrors and they do their signal. As soon as they've gone past the turn, that lets all the vehicles behind know they intend to pull up and they can pass them. So if you do get asked to pull up on a busy road, put your signals on a little bit earlier. Just make sure it's not going to mislead anyone. By misleading, I mean make sure it's not by a bend or by a junction, etc. Now this is the infamous Lidl and BJ's Bingo right turn. There are some cars in front, and for this junction it is only recommended to have one car waiting in the middle to turn right. Let's see how this goes. My last test that came here did get a fail. So they've entered it nicely and they've progressed quite far forward, which is good. They're now waiting at the point of turn. They're now way past the commitment line, so as soon as that light changes, they must go. And they did it really well, and as they enter the new road, they have a good build up of speed. Now, coming up is a pedestrian crossing. Notice how there are people there waiting. As they go forwards, they do end up pausing on the middle of the crossing. This is playing a dangerous game because if that light turns red, they would have failed. But fortunately for them, it doesn't, and they get away with a minor fault. Now, there was a few faults that I was unable to see in the footage. They got one minor fault for their show me tell me question. While trying to find the rear demister, the car did sway a little bit to one side. There was also one for judgment meeting, which I was unable to see personally. So I'm going to pop them in here just so we're up to date with how many faults they've got. But all they have to do now is get back to the test centre with no serious or dangerous faults. And they have done it, an amazing pass with only 6 driving faults. They were out for just over half an hour altogether, and the traffic was a lot more than I expected. They've been asked to just pull in any spot, but they were super cautious as they did it. So an amazing first time pass, only 6 faults, absolutely fantastic.